Hi, guten Abend. Eine weitere Folge Deadly Premonition 2. Ich glaube, der Chuck ist schon wieder da. Fantastisch. Momentchen. Dim. Hallo Chuck. Ja, mir geht's gut. Wie geht es denn dir? Ich hoffe, dir geht es ebenfalls gut. Zur aktuellen Stunde. Klassenabschiedsparty. Oh, die geht super, das ist super. Klassenabschiedsparty und dann sind Sommerferien, oder was? Oder was ist das? Bringen Sie in Yorks Zimmer die Informationen über den Fall. Achso, okay. Besorgen Sie die vollen Zutaten. Ja, diese Zutaten sammeln, das ist ja alles immer so. Das ist immer so ein Ding, ne? So, da kann ich ja quasi Schnellreise machen. Aber wir haben ja hier unser fettes Skateboard. Das ist ja quasi auch eine Schnellreise.
One lollipop, two lollipops, three lollipops. Don't mind me exactly.
Kann ich eigentlich den Müll durchsuchen? Eigentlich eine verrückte Frage, aber ich habe doch irgendwo schon mal den Müll durchsucht, oder? Und wer ist er? Der sieht schon nicht so ganz unverdächtig aus. Ja, ich muss irgendwo irgendwie dieses Zeug sammeln für die ganzen Zutaten und für diesen Fetisch und... Keine Ahnung. Egal. Gehen wir erstmal das Zimmer, bringen unsere Notizen auf Vordermann, gucken nochmal den Koffer an, was wir haben, was wir brauchen, was uns fehlt. Und ich bin mir sicher, die Story wird dann gleich auch weitergehen. Ach doch, ich finde, man kann das Spiel auf jeden Fall schön trinken. Schau mal was. Das Bild ist schon wieder... Fuck, ey, was ist mit dem Bild los? Geile Bilder eigentlich hier an der Wand. Hatte ich nicht irgendwie so eine komische Puppe oder sowas jetzt schon eingesammelt? Oder war das wieder nur eine Zutat? Ich hatte auch 1000 von diesen komischen Clownshüten, aber die kann ich hier auch gar nicht auswählen. Okay, ich ziehe mich mal um. Was war denn eigentlich? Mit dem... Muss man nicht irgendwie die Wäsche... Also die reinigen lassen? Egal. Der war aus wie so ein Lehrer.
Let's go over our progress. We've got a complicated case on our hands this time, especially as far as the Clarksons' relationships go.
But in a way, it's also a simple one. Understanding them on a deeper level is the most efficient way to uncover the truth behind all this. That's the one thing I'm sure of.
So, die Axt.
Zach, let's start with the people who were closest to the victim. Lise Clarkson, the victim, is the granddaughter of the current head of the Clarkson family. Her mother is Galena, an ex-actress, and
die hat
Lise
sie doch
clearly
umgebracht.
inherited her beauty. Except for her eyes, that is. Lisa's eye color matches that of her father's. Now, do you remember who Lise Clarkson's father is? Wrong. That's the town sheriff. He's also the father of Patricia Woods, our skilled assistant.
Ach ja, ja, ach,
Ready to
stimmt.
give me a serious answer, Zach?
Ich finde das cool, dass man eigentlich nicht falsch liegen kann. Er sagt einem dann halt, was Sache ist.
Wrong, Zach. That's Lisa's grandfather, not her father. Go on.
Also ich glaube, es ist der Danny. Ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, es ist der Danny.
That's right. Lisa's father is Danny Clarkson. His real name is Daniel E. Clarkson. He's from Florida and used to be the CEO of a talent agency. Danny struck the heart of Galena and successfully became a member of the esteemed Clarkson family. Despite being the son-in-law, he acts like he was born a Clarkson, but he's still just the son-in-law. Next comes what happened to Lise. According to Alexis, Lise said that the man was as tall as an oak tree. I believe that's the same 10-foot tall giant who made the fingerprints we found in the cold storage warehouse. Now, what did this man do to Lise prior to her murder? No, that's not it, Zach. Lisa's mother, Galena, is the one who always took her to the jazz bar. I don't think our giant is that much of a gentleman. Yes, that's it, Zach. The man as tall as an oak tree followed Lisa around and watched her. Despite his towering stature, he must have been rather shy. Or perhaps he was merely biding his time and planned to kidnap her from the very start. If that's the case, there should have been some evidence left at the scene of the crime. Zach, we're still missing some puzzle pieces. Speaking of the scene of the crime, I did some profiling in the plantation's control room. The truth it revealed to us was nauseating and horrific. But we need to touch upon it if we wish to proceed. Isn't that right, Zach? Who actually murdered Lise Clarkson?
Ja, die Mutter, oder nicht?
Yes,
Ja.
that's right. Lisa's own mother killed her, while she was dreaming about some bizarre new world. This is by far the vilest and ugliest crime we've ever seen. The fact that Galena set up her daughter's body at an altar makes this case even more complicated. Remember, not a single sacrificial human murder has ever been proven and documented in all of American history. The real world is far more complex than what we see in films and video games, and sacrificing a human life for something else is no easy task. In conclusion, Zach, through our investigation, we found one character who sticks out more than anyone else. You know exactly who I'm thinking about, don't you? We'll need to have a word with her in the near future. Who's the stylish woman we saw during the profiling? Professor R. We haven't met her yet, but she's deeply intertwined with this case. Let's wait for the skeletal gentleman to guide us to her with an oracle. Well, Zach, what do you think? Isn't the people here are just as warm as the weather, and the food is to die for. Might be nice to move down here after I retire. What, still too early to talk about that? You may be right. After all, this case has only just begun.
It's only just begun. This case. Wieso gehen wir nicht einfach in die Jazzbar und reden mit der Alten? Warum müssen wir jetzt warten, bis das Orakel zu uns spricht? Okay, mach's gut, Chuck. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tja, dann bin ich wohl wieder alleine. Aber laut Anzeige habe ich einen Zuschauer. Das heißt, hallo lieber Zuschauer, wer auch immer du bist. Schreib doch mal, wenn du Bock hast. Musst du natürlich nicht. Niemand wird hier gezwungen, irgendetwas zu tun. Oh, ein Alligator.
Lena can't be the killer. They're making all this shit up.
Was eine Bestie.
If what you say is true,
Fucking big boss.
how do you plan to prove it? It's nearly been a century since the Clarksons first took control of Lucari. 100 years. I always thought my legacy would live on for 300 at least.
I'm gonna find the real killer and beat the living dog shit out of him.
Was eine Frisur, ey. Sind wir 2005 echt so
It
rumgelaufen?
looks to me like times have changed. We ain't in the good old days no more. You understand me, boy.
Yes, sir. Right there
Boy.
with you, Paul. I'm gonna continue what you started, sir, and make the Clarkson family strong again. First, I need to find whoever really killed Lise and bash their fucking brains in.
I saw this coming. Ever since the day Lenny left home, the town of Lucari has been cursed. We can't stop what's happening now. It's too late. It's beyond me. No. It's beyond the minds of anyone who comes from the olden days. You understand me now, boy?
Yes, sir. Believe me, I do. I'll kill him. Just leave everything to me, Paul.
Are you serious about this?
Yes, sir. Right hand of God. Look right in my eyes. I ain't lying. I'm serious. I just need you to lend me some troops, sir. We need retribution right now. That's the job I've been given, and I intend to do it.
Well then, let me ask you one more time. Are you serious about this?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I was born
I'm a
serious.
Clarkson, and all Clarksons have a job to do. Isn't that what we always say?
Then I'll need an arm.
What?
Well now, you want to use my troops, I'm gonna need to know whether or not you're really serious about this. Just one arm. Slide it on through that wire there, and it'll take care of it for you.
Paul, I mean, you're joking, right?
Daniel, have I ever told you a single joke?
No, but
If you want to become a real Clarkson, then you done got yourself a job to do.
wait, Paul, I get it now. You want me to stick it in and then pull it out at the last minute, right? You want to see if I got guts or not, but there's gonna be another way.
Oh je.
You can't be serious, sir. Ha! Hey, knock it off, you assholes! Let me go! He's just joking with me! Let me go, goddammit! Oh, please, sir, don't do this! Just tell me this is a joke, please!
Ouch.
I am a Clarkson. And no matter how our fortune falls, all Clarksons have a job to do. That be the law of this land.
Ein fucking Typ in der Unterhose. Moment, ist die ganze Band so im Schlafanzug-Look? Ja, ne? Nee. Aber er hat eine fucking Unterhose noch an, wie bei Yakuza, der eine Typ. Ach was, Kapitel 1. Gibt es auch so richtig Statistiken hier. Tageaufenthalt 2. Besiegte Gegner 52. 0 Versuche 0, weil ich ein fucking Pro bin. Guck mal, Bargeld 943. Keine Schulden. Ich habe doch dem einen Typen in die Fresse gehauen. Ach so. Wahrscheinlich habe ich das gleich bezahlt, ne? Da, gewalttätiges Verhalten 1. Ja. Alles klar. Ja, speichere nochmal hier. Chewing.
York, you can hear me, right? I'll be with you soon. I'm not sad. Honestly, I can't wait. It's all I think about lately. I mean, we'll be together again. We'll get to discuss movies, food again. Everyone around here has bad taste. They don't understand things the way we do. It's a shitty world filled with shitty people. Oh, that reminds me. There are movie theaters and restaurants over there, right? As soon as I get there, let's go grab some peanut butter hamburgers and yogurt smoothies. I'm so excited, York.
Peanut Butter Hamburgers? Schmeckt das? Hat das schon mal jemand gegessen?
Please, York, don't rush me.
Fucking
You just need to wait a bit longer. I still have one job left to do. I need to finish it. I have to. Or else I'd never be able to face you. Just give me a little more time, okay?
Müder alter Mann. Oh, 2019. Ach, wir sind hier wieder in der Gegenwart.
So, Lisa's mother, Galena Clarkson, confessed to murdering Lise. But then immediately afterwards, she went insane. So you had no choice but to detain her. What a terribly convenient story. You were the first person to find the suspect hiding at a farm on the edge of town. And you even got her to confess to the crime, right then and there. Did anyone else get a chance to hear Galena's confession?
Only us.
How did you even find that shack in the first place?
Metaphysical offender profiling.
Meta what? Should I know this word?
Metaphysical offender profiling. The term appears 6 times in the Le Carré report and 14 times in the 2010 Greenvale report. As long as you're solving cases, the people in charge don't really care what sort of words you use. But we're different. You utilized a highly abnormal method to instantly hone in on a suspect. Then you did it again and again. And every time you used it, one term kept appearing in your files: metaphysical offender profiling. Mr. Morgan, would you mind explaining to us what this term means?
We could try. But no matter what words we used, you'd never be able to understand. You see, it doesn't pertain to this side. Come, my fairy. Stop hiding back there and give them the explanation they so desire. What? You're too shy?
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Come on out. Don't be afraid. You can do it.
Is that all you have to say? Don't underestimate me, Morgan. I know you and the Clarksons share a deeper connection. Much deeper than how it appears on the surface.
Ich meine, die Grafik mag natürlich echt nicht so gut sein, aber ich finde, das ist schon irgendwie atmosphärisch. Allein draußen so diese Dunkelheit und dann mit den Bäumen, die so...
I need to
Das
shake
hat
him with
was.
something else that's directly connected to the Clarksons. I'm gonna jog his memory by force.
Hm.
Those letters look very old. The postmark suggests they were sent out from Louisiana. And I suspect that dragonfly mark belongs to the Clarkson family.
Maybe. So what if it does?
A stalker has been harassing Patricia Clarkson for several years now. Did you know about this? Constant silent phone calls, unmarked letters. She also spotted a suspicious figure lurking near her mansion several times. And just last week, her employees spotted a strange figure lurking in the vicinity. The day someone else coincidentally used your alias and traveled to Louisiana.
That's very intriguing. Aligned symbolism.
Lise Clarkson also reported being harassed by a stalker just before she was murdered. You're aware of this, correct?
Achso, sie denkt ja, wir haben damit was zu tun mit dem Fall so richtig, ne? Dass wir die irgendwie umgebracht haben oder so, ne?
Because
war
I
denn
didn't find
Patricia
any mention of this
Clarkson?
in your report.
No direct connection to the case. That's what we must have thought.
The visionary lies to himself the liar only to others. Which are you?
That's enough for now. This all has nothing to do with the case. Besides, there's no evidence that proves those letters are from her. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Mr. Morgan, according to you, at the beginning of this case, the victim's body was being stored in the warehouse on purpose. Is that the truth? They really put her body there alongside food and other perishables?
It's in the report.
No. The report only says it was stored using the most effective and shockingly inhuman method possible.
If you can think of a better phrase, we're all ears.
The report isn't wrong, you know. In fact, that might actually be the most accurate way of describing it. It's precise, and it's also kinda poetic.
Wow, Simon. We never would have taken you for a poet.
You two think this is a joke? Lise Clarkson's body was discovered in that cold storage warehouse after 14 long years. If you'd only done a proper investigation, we probably would have found her much sooner. That poor girl.
We still regret the fact that we never got to meet her. We're sorry, from the bottoms of our hearts.
I only hope it didn't happen that way by design.
Will you comfort me? Thank you, my fairy.
I knew it wouldn't go that easily. Maybe I should try asking my questions in a different way. I could use Agent Jones here. Agent Jones! Are you paying attention? Or do you intend to waste Mr. Morgan's precious time?
No. Sorry. I'm just a little tired. I'm listening.
Take your hand out of your pocket. Didn't they teach you any manners at Quantico?
Oh, right. Guess they slipped my mind. My bad.
Okay, da hat er nichts gesagt.
I'm not used to this sort of thing. Data analysis is my specialty, you know. I'm sure I'd be able to calm down a bit if I had...
Pizza Party.
The FBI needs to do something about their lack of personnel. I'll have to ask the questions myself, but how should I start? Maybe I should look back over the files and calmly reassess the situation. After you arrested Galena Clarkson, you had a run-in with the Clarksons. At least that's what it says in the report. What exactly happened there?
Just a simple run-in, that's all. Nothing but a single phenomenon. Chasing hollow instances like that won't lead you closer to the truth. Truth doesn't work like that.
A hollow phenomenon, which resulted in a mountain of corpses.
Oh, Belle. We think we finally understand what you're trying to say, but don't be so voracious. How about another cup of coffee? We've still got a long way to go, you know.
Bum, bum, badabadum.
Yes. It's coarsely ground, so there should only be 4 teaspoons per cup. No more, no less. Next, the coffee travels from the funnel to the siphon. Simon, Normally, you only do surveillance in order to gather data, correct? Hiding microphones and cameras, sifting through garbage, wiretapping, shadowing, tracing credit card histories. You'll do whatever it takes to gather data in order to prevent crimes. That's how the FBI works.
Well, yeah, you're right. No reason in hiding it now, I guess. Why do you ask?
Our Southern Belle has adopted a very peculiar MO. It's almost like she has a special power, just like us. You've been watching us this entire time, haven't you, Belle? From that window.
I don't need to answer that question.
You came here on New Year's Eve, then spent 49 hours watching us until you returned to your hotel room last night. You observed us the entire time without sleep or rest, and you only ate once, some pizza delivered by Simon. Aside from that, you never drank any water or relieved yourself. You simply sat there and continued to watch us. You have visions, too, don't you? You came here solely to hear us talk, didn't you? But then, why bother watching us for over 2 days beforehand? You didn't come to talk with us. You came because you wanted to see this apartment with your own eyes. And because you're already convinced of something. Isn't that right? He who fights with monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you.
But I...
Oh, coffee. Thank you, my fairy. If you hadn't been paying attention, this coffee would have all gone to waste. The pus in our brains. It really has a way of interfering with our lives. Didn't remember.
This is
Alter
friggin'
Falter, ey.
delicious. I thought I was gonna shit myself for a second there.
Professionell.
Come on, Aaliyah, take a sip. Trust me. I'm not exaggerating here.
I don't believe it. It's better than any coffee I've ever tasted.
Wie
Of course
geil
it
einfach.
is. Coffee is a sacred drink. Coffee saved us. If not for its oracle, we would be on the other side right now. So I never forget to pay my respects to coffee, especially at critical moments like this.
Big black cumulonimbus clouds are in the sky. And that sound. Thunder snow is coming.
Richtig gemütlich, ey, so Gewitter und man ist drin und ach, ist geil.
Do you hear that thunder?
We're in Massachusetts. That's the norm for this time of year.
Well, I'm not used to the cold. If possible, I'd like to finish this up before we get stuck in a snowstorm. Agent Jones, after we're done here, Agent Jones, is something the matter? Snap out of it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know.
Do you? Then stop daydreaming.
Okay.
You just what?
My stomach's been letting some thunder loose, too.
Thunder?
That coffee was just so good,
It what? We don't have all day here.
The coffee was just so good, summoned forth a massive tsunami from within me.
Excuse me? What is wrong with you? Now is really not the time for this.
Wenn man muss, dann muss
door
man.
at the end of the hallway.
Thanks, pal. Hold on. You can make it. We can do this. It's not very far.
We promise you, we did not put laxatives in the coffee. Coffee is a sacred drink, remember?
Drauf geschissen.
There's no doubt that the report omitted information linking Morgan to the Clarksons.
Hallo Victoria.
Need to get him to confess.
Wieso, was passiert denn dann?
Oh yeah. That reminds me. There's a secret weapon in Agent Jones's briefcase. Have you ever seen this before? And please, don't say no.
Sang Rouge. The drug we once chased. What about it?
Sang Rouge is still circulating. It's changed shape and its composition is slightly different now. But it's still very much alive. But only in a very limited part of Louisiana. You aren't surprised? Did you somehow know this would happen?
Copies of another drug being circulated isn't exactly a rare case.
But Sang Rouge is special. The inimitable Enigma powder. The origin. It has many names, and no one was ever able to copy it. We've also been trying to figure out what it's made from ever since it appeared. But it's impossible to analyze. After all, it appears to be made from common ingredients that can be found anywhere. But if you try to use those ingredients, all you'll end up with is a mundane hallucinogen like DMT. No. Sang Rouge requires a special recipe. The original recipe, which someone's been guarding this entire time. Someone who survived the incident in Le Carré.
Spielt dann das Handy verrückt oder was passiert dann?
Immediately after they found Lisa's body, I went to go see Patricia. In order to interrogate her, of course.
So you told us.
But I was unable to meet with her.
She refused to speak with you, didn't she? That's so like her.
No, she didn't get the chance to. You see, she's gone missing.
What?
Wer ist denn Patricia
To put it more
Clarkson?
accurately, no one's seen her since the afternoon of the 28th. According to her employees, she shut herself up in her room for several months before she disappeared. But since that sort of thing happened often, they didn't think anything of it. On the morning of New Year's Eve, they noticed her window was open, and when they went up to check on her, she was gone. But no one knows how long her window had been open for. This is just my hypothesis, but on December 28th, a strange man visited Le Carré and was spotted near her mansion. That man must have found some way to lure Patricia into his car, the '89 Cadillac that he bought used. Then, the two of them drove north to Trenton, where they boarded a train to Boston. They would have arrived here around midnight on the 29th, or perhaps early morning on the 30th. I believe this man is the same Billy Bishop whose name was previously recorded by the airline. So, what do you think of my guess? I'd love to hear your opinion as a former FBI special agent.
Now we get it. We aren't persons of interest. We're the suspects. But what about our alibi?
What alibi?
I've had enough of your bullshit. You expect me to believe you haven't taken a single step out of this room? That Agent Jones is your witness? Surveillance cameras can easily be tampered with, especially by someone like you, who knows all about how the FBI works.
You're possessed by death. Go and take a look at your own face in the mirror. You look like the Grim Reaper. After you visited both Le Carré and Greenvale, you left a mountain of corpses in your wake. You can make all the excuses you want. I'm immune to them. Right here, right now, I want to know everything. You tell me the truth.
Yes! You're good, Belle. Damn good. You're brimming with potential. Don't you think she's the perfect partner for our last dance? What do you say, my fairy? Don't you agree? She's good. So good. What do you want to know? We've got nothing to hide. Go on. Question us. This is how it's got to be. Doesn't this remind you of something? You know what I mean, my fairy?
Er ist schon leicht durchgeknallt. Ach, Notruf. Aber wird er dann noch wirklich gewählt oder ist das irgendwie verarsche? 999. Ah, ich habe das auch schon mal aus Versehen gemacht, wenn man irgendwie, es gibt so eine Kombination, irgendwie den Lautstärkeknopf oder irgendwas. Oder nee, ich glaube die Sperrtaste, wenn man die so ein paar Mal hintereinander drückt, wählt der automatisch einen Notruf. Und ich hatte das Handy in der Tasche und dachte, ich habe das halt verwechselt und dachte, da mache ich das lauter oder leiser. Und drückt er die ganze Zeit drauf rum und auf einmal hat er auch Notruf angefangen.
The head and limbs were severed and lined up, according to the lines that were drawn with her blood. Just like migratory birds flying systematically across the sky. Hey, Zach, what do you think this means?
They're severed roots.
Severed roots?
This is the way the Clarksons kill someone when they want to cut him off from the family.
Ach so, Patricia
And how do
Woods.
you
Ist
know about this?
Patricia Woods ist Patricia
Everyone in
Clarkson?
town knows about it. They're just too scared to talk.
What does the V stand for, then?
Beats me. What, you think I know everything now?
Vilitatio. It means quarrel in Latin. That's what the V stands for.
Latin. Intriguing, isn't it, Zach? There are no defense wounds on the corpse. In other words, Galena showed no signs of resistance when she was amputated. But, strangely enough, there are small traces of subcutaneous bleeding around the wounded areas. That's a vital reaction, which means she couldn't have been dead.
You mean...
Yes, that's right, Patty. Galena was amputated while she was still alive, and she never resisted.
Is that even possible?
It certainly isn't impossible. For example, if she was put to sleep with a drug, or if she desired the amputation herself.
Why would she ever desire that?
Mr. York, I'm sorry.
Das ist das gleiche, was mit der
But there
Tochter
ain't no
passiert ist,
way
ne?
that could have happened.
Aber da war es irgendeine
How can you
Droge.
be sure of that,
Die war
Melvin?
da so geil drauf.
Our world contains phenomena that could never be explained with logic. This is especially true for phenomena in which humans are involved. Do you really think all the facets of love and hate can be explained with logic?
Well, no, I don't reckon I do. Yeah, might be too early to rule out those possibilities, just like you say.
Zach, now we truly know just how deeply the Clarksons are involved with this. Patty, how long does it take to reach the Clarkson estate?
Just a short drive. You just gotta head west along the Mississippi. You can't miss it.
Got it. Thank you, Patty. By the way, Melvin, no matter how accelerated Patty may be, don't you think she's still a bit too young to see something like this? For the record, I have no intent to instruct others on how to raise their children, but...
Holy moly, you're right! Patricia, CLG! Come on, sweetie. Kids shouldn't have to see stuff like this.
Daddy, it's too late now.
Neue Mission. Also, was ist die Mission? Ja, genau, ist richtig.
You sure you okay, CLG?
I'm fine. Besides, I'm used to seeing stuff like that on CSI. You're the one who looks pale, Daddy.
Well, it did shake me up a little. But I'll be back to normal in no time. Sorry about that, Mr. York. What say we rest in the interrogation room till we all calm down, see?
Sure thing, Daddy. I'm gonna go sit with Daddy for a bit, Agent York. We can join back up later.
Patricia Woods. AKA Patricia
Galena
Clarkson.
killed her daughter, so her family cut ties with her. Do you really think that's what happened here, Zach? If this is truly the ritual that the Clarksons use to cut ties with someone, why would they go out of their way to do it here, in a holding cell? They could have easily done it after we released her. And judging from how Danny Clarkson was acting, I think it's clear that he really loved Galena. How could he accept this grotesque butchering, even if it was for the sake of the family? There's no point in ruminating on this. We should get back to the investigation. As long as we keep moving, the answer will inevitably fling it.
Ja, das ist alles schon so ein bisschen verzwickt, ne? Die Tochter wurde doch bei so einer Art Ritual umgebracht von der Mutter. Aber auf die gleiche Art und Weise. Ach was, da gibt es auch noch Nebenjobs? Krass. Wow. Ach, da ist er wieder, unser Orakeltyp.
You found the flying serpent. But now, the flying serpent will come to find you.
Yeah, that sounds right. And it looks like this flying serpent is a venomous one.
Some become feasts, while others are eaten alive. Which fate would you prefer?
Both sound marvelous, but let me check with Zach.
A fine answer. Find the one who fired the pistol at heaven. Within the white hall of beds, brandish the ticket to the goddess. And once again, you will see the other world. Do you comprehend the oracle?
Zach, it looks like he's hell-bent on leading us back into that other world.
Follow the oracle.
Oh, I will, Hungan. There are only two types of things in our world. Things that should be resisted and things that should be accepted. And I believe this oracle is something to accept. Do you think we're crazy for believing everything that skeletal gentleman says? No, we're not crazy. Not one bit. This is our destiny, that's all. But I shouldn't need to explain that to you, Zach. The one who fired the pistol at heaven. Firing pistols at the sky might be a rather common occurrence for the South. Remember? Young Guns, 1988, directed by Christopher Kane. There's that great scene where Emilio Estevez keeps firing his Colt M1877 up at the sky. Oh, but that film took place in New Mexico, didn't it? And the Oracle probably isn't referring to a situation like that. Unfortunately, Zach, you're wrong. We need to find someone who fired their pistol straight at the sky. It's got to be for some purpose other than an attack or a threat. Raising a pistol up to the sky, then slowly pulling the trigger, kind of sounds like the start to a race. Don't you agree, Zach? Bingo, Zach. We're currently running a race here. And the one who started this murder investigation is indeed the one who fired the pistol at heaven. In other words, the person who first discovered the body. According to the files, Lisa's body was discovered by Chuck Thompson, a crawfish farmer. He apparently works out of a fishing hut located in the marshes south of the bayou. Let's go pay him a visit. Who knows? We might even get to see some crawfish. What? Why isn't the murderer the one who started this race? Zach, this isn't like you. Of course the murderer isn't the one who started the race. The murderer's running it. They're currently in first place, and they're breaking all the rules. Any more objections, Zach? Within the White Hall of Beds. This one is even easier. There are only a few establishments that have a whole hall's worth of beds, especially in a small town like this. I'm sure you've already got a pretty good idea about what the answer is, Zach. Beds all lined up. Only an amateur would hear that and think it must be referring to a brothel. You really think that's a White Hall? Sorry, but I have to disagree. There's a more obvious answer out there, a place that anyone would think of when they hear the words White Hall. I mean, come on. You never disappoint me, Zach. It's a medical facility. They invite their patients into rooms full of beds where they're tended to by doctors and nurses clad in white. It's definitely a White Hall, where people are invited into beds. You always manage to impress me with your intuition. I'm really counting on you here, Zach, and I know I'll always be able to.
Agent York, you're trying to leave without your trustworthy assistant?
Hello there, Patty. I was simply engaging in a battle of wits with Hoongan while I waited for you.
Hoongan?
Yes, the skeletal gentleman in the top hat.
Not that story again. Is this how you always conduct your investigations?
This is the way I work.
I bet you can't find a single partner. Not even in the entire...
That's not true. I always work together with Zach.
Oh, right. Zach. Don't worry. I'll be your partner while you're here in our town. Now, let's go investigate.
Let's go to the mall. Ja. Ich würde sagen, wir gehen erstmal zum Sumpf. Zum Finder der Leiche, weil ich möchte da noch mal ein paar Steine skippen. So findet man ja auch mal. Puh. Ah. Nanu, meine Tochter macht komische Geräusche. Ich speichere lieber nochmal, nicht, dass ich hier gleich aufhören muss. Das hat sich angehört wie nicht wirklich wie Schluckauf, aber fast wie Schluckauf oder so in der Art. Also. Ach, Ladezeit vergesse ich auch immer wieder, dass die Ladezeiten so unglaublich lang sind. Ule Kashima Topada Totopada. Ah, guck mal. Da ist es. Da ist doch schon die Ladezeit vorüber. Moment, ist dunkel noch. Big Boss.
How's your mama? So, you're that hotshot FBI agent I keep hearing about.
Yep, das bin ich.
And who might you be?
I came to claim the body of my daughter. My daughter, who was murdered in a holding cell after you detained her yesterday.
Zach, I wasn't expecting to run into the final boss this early.
Der Endgegner.
You must be the head of the Clarkson family, P.J. Clarkson. And you've come to claim the body of Galena Clarkson, whose dismembered corpse was found early this morning. Is that correct? Where did you learn that Galena had been murdered? Zach and I just learned of the news ourselves.
This is Lou Corey. And I am P.J. Clarkson. There ain't
der
a
Typ
single
groß?
thing I don't know about this town.
Was sagt uns das gerade so
I
aus?
see. So then you must also know about the Severed Roots ritual. I have a question for you, Philip. We suspect that Galena was murdered by someone from the Clarkson family. Have you given that possibility any consideration?
Listen up, you FBI piece of shit. You better watch your manners around my pa.
Shut up,
Yes.
Daniel.
But, sir... My bad, sir.
Der ist schon ziemlich groß.
I'll have you know I once had 3 children. But I must not have raised them very well, because my son and my eldest daughter both ran away and never came back to me. The only one who stayed by my side was my second daughter, Galena. Then she done married Daniel here into the family and presented me with both an heir and a granddaughter. Seemed for a while as if things were finally starting to calm down. But then, someone corrupted both Galena and Lise. And I lost everything. Aside from my shit-heel son-in-law, that is.
Pissnelke.
You understand me, FBI?
Galena's death is nothing but a loss for the Clarkson family.
That doesn't mean the Clarksons are automatically innocent, though. Humans don't always act out of self-interest, do they?
That mouth. You're starting to sound more and more like your mother. We're leaving, Daniel.
What? But my treasure...
Now, whether you end up being an angel or a demon, I reckon you're the man I've been waiting for all this time. Once you finish that autopsy and we're clear to take her home, I want you to give me a call.
They're phenomenal, Patty. So perfectly rural. ominous statements, foul-mouthed insults. This town possesses a complicated system of communication that you just can't find in the city. Work-centric emails are so cold and lifeless. This is what true human connections feel like. Connections as visceral as blood itself.
So, Agent York, what's next on your agenda?
The last boss may have gotten the jump on us, Patty, but I didn't let him shake my resolve. I intend to obey the skeletal gentleman's oracles, and that's that. First, we should head to either the home of the person who discovered Lisa's body or to the town's medical facility. Well, Zach, what do you think?
Falls ihr euch fragt, was das für Geräusche sind, ich ziehe gerade meine Hose aus. Mir ist gerade ein bisschen warm. So. Ja, wir hören einfach auf unser Orakel. Und fahren. Hey, was gibt's denn hier?
So, Mr. York, what do you think of my castle? Pretty cool, ain't it?
Das ist
I've
schon
been
verdammt
curious
cool.
about it since the first time I saw it. You've got excellent taste, Melvin.
Melvin the Destroyer.
I dub it Blue Crawfish. I'll have you know, crawfish is pretty much its own food group in this town. Since this store carries all the bare necessities you'll need for daily life, I reckon it was an apt name. If it's sundries you're looking for, there ain't much you won't find here.
Okay, ja, gut, da haben wir auf jeden Fall erstmal genug. Was machen denn die Kekse? Achso, die machen auch satt. Vielleicht sollten wir da... Ach, guck mal. Uns ein paar Hotdogs holen. Achso. Ach komm. Ich hoffe, die verderben nicht. Und dazu noch ein paar Donuts. Ach, Selbstbräuner. Ach was, dann kriegen wir wirklich Rabatte oder was? Hat das mit dem Körpergeruch irgendwelche Auswirkungen auf Dialoge oder so? Schlafsack habe ich einen. Luxusschlafsack. Nehmen wir nochmal so ein. Ach was, wieso? Ich verstehe es nicht. Antikatermittel. Also. Na gut.
You ever need anything? You just come on by, Mr.
You're not...
Sure.
That's terribly convenient, Melvin. But I have one concern. What if a crime occurs while you're managing the store? Running a business and keeping the peace, both jobs require immediate response in times of crisis. I just can't see how it would be possible.
It's actually pretty easy, Mr. York.
But what if a criminal who just robbed a bank came here on his way home and bought up all your stock?
Oh, I like the sound of that. You want to make me rich? I'll never let money stand in my way. It's not the boss of me, for I am the last shopaholic. Ooh, I'm funny.
Melvin, that was a serious question.
Really? Could have fooled me. Not even the Clarksons would do something that great. No point in preparing for something that'll never happen. After all, this is Lucare, the tiny forgotten town in the middle of southern nowhere.
Get it, Zach? It's Occam's razor to a T. Melvin, I have to say you're a very balanced man. Now I feel confident that the Woods household will do just fine, even if you end up losing your job as town sheriff.
You sure are a joker, Mr. York.
Occam's Razor. Das habe ich schon mal gehört. Das hat irgendwas in der Schreibtechnik, glaube ich. Wenn man Geschichten schreibt oder so. Irgendwas hat das damit zu tun. Okay, ich will an den... Da will ich hin. 23.
Were you thinking about Galena?
Jetzt habe ich einen wunderschönen Dialog unterbrochen. Es tut mir leid.
As a symbol, it's got to be that bridge hanging over the bayou.
Schade, dass er hier so leise redet auf dem Skateboard.
Duluth, Minnesota. Remember what happened there? That man went to such great lengths to collect his victims' tongues. You know, one who would French kiss them every day as they slowly decompose. As I drove him to the station after his arrest, he started lecturing me on the proper way to give someone a kiss. Anyway, back to Duluth. They have a famous lift bridge there called the Aerial Lift Bridge. The lift bridge here is the first one we've seen since then, but this one looks a lot smaller than the Aerial Lift Bridge. Its smaller size was most likely chosen due to the width of the river and the sea level of this area. The height and structure of a bridge is what determines which sort of boats can travel down the river. Normal bridges' base heights are set at a higher point so that boats can freely pass underneath them. But I imagine it would be difficult to create a bridge with a large arch
Whee!
river
Ouch.
from the sea
Fuck.
level. Okay, Zach. It's time to put our skills to the test.
Ich hab's eben nicht geschafft. Oh je, Mine. Oh nein. Oh je. Jetzt ist unser Skateboard kaputt. Was machen wir denn jetzt?
Well, Zach, it seems as if we've reached an impasse. I'm afraid we won't be able to proceed any further like this.
Kann man nicht rumgehen?
Zakari Tiger to DC Eagle? Is everything alright?
Nope.
Hello, Melvin. Sadly, my darling just gave out on me.
Your darling? You mean...
Yes, that's right. My beloved skateboard. I know the chances are slim, but do you happen to know of any establishments in town that can repair skateboards? Please, I hope this doesn't offend. Neither Zach nor I would ever dare to assume that a remote country town like this would have a skateboard shop in it. But perhaps you have at least one eccentric who likes to tinker with them in their spare time.
I know just...
Haben wir schon gesehen, da konnte ich aber noch nichts machen.
Double bass player by night, trick master by day. God blessed her with 2 talents, and her name is Emma Sanders.
Emma?
Emmerich?
That's right. She's Pastor Sanders' adopted daughter, and was also Lise Clarkson's best friend. Emma really knows her stuff. She's got tools and a mountain of parts, so I'm sure she'll be able to help.
I owe you one, Melvin. Zach, I never thought we'd find our very own skateboard mentor out here in the sticks. Let's head straight to Emma. What is it, Zach? Why didn't I just ask the sheriff to tow away the old cars? But isn't it obvious? I want to overcome this obstacle using my own strength. In fact, I want to...
Ja, ich auch, wenn man da schon mal diese Gelegenheit hat. Und wir haben die schon gesehen. Wir konnten nur noch nicht arbeiten mit 24. Ui, das ist weit weg. Und jetzt habe ich kein Skateboard. Da werde ich das Taxi wohl bei nächster Gelegenheit rufen. Ey, ich musste da eben so dran denken. Ey, als Kind, wenn man das hier spielen würde, das wäre anders, ne? Also ich kann mich noch dran erinnern, als ich halt noch ein Kind war und gezockt habe. Und damals war die Grafik ja noch schlechter als hier, als ich Kind war. So N64-Zeiten, PlayStation 1-Zeiten. Und ich meine, hier gibt es kaum was, ne? Also hier der Parkplatz zum Beispiel, da ist ja nix. Und ich fahre jetzt halt einfach nur von A nach B. Klar, man kann so ein paar Nebenmissionen so machen und ein paar Dinge sammeln, aber im Großen und Ganzen will ich halt eigentlich auch der Story folgen hier. Aber wenn ich mir vorstelle, als Kind, da wäre das alles so aufregend gewesen. Allein, dass man halt hierhin kann, wäre cool gewesen als Kind. Allein, dass ich jetzt hier in das Haus gehen kann, hätte ich so geil gefunden und hätte hier immer geguckt und auch wenn es dann da nichts gibt, als Kind ist es geil. Ich habe letztens bei einem Bekannten, da haben die Kinder, durften da ein bisschen was spielen und die haben fucking Farm-Simulator gespielt. Aber die haben nicht den Farm-Simulator gespielt, wie man ihn spielt, halt da irgendwie Felder bestellt und sonst was gemacht. Sondern die sind da auch rumgelaufen. Das ging, glaube ich. Oder mit dem Auto haben die das gemacht. Kann auch sein, dass sie es mit dem Auto gemacht haben. Und sind halt auch einfach in die Ecken gefahren, haben sich alles angeguckt. Und das fanden die cool. Und da muss ich so dran denken. Das ist halt echt so, ey. Als Kind ist irgendwie alles cool einfach. Was man machen kann in einem Spiel. Und dass man die Welten so entdecken kann. Fuck. Wo ist denn hier der nächste Bestellpunkt? Da ist das ein Bushaltestellenzeichen. Vielleicht habe ich sogar schon eins übersehen. Wahrscheinlich ist da bei der Rampe direkt eins. Da, hier muss eins sein. Da, ich sehe schon den Luftballon. Und den Reifen. Ach, hier war die Kühlanlage. So, wo will ich hin? Oh, die Musik, ey, unglaublich. Da oben, achso, da kann ich nicht hin. Da ist nicht hin. So, jetzt sind wir schon einiges näher dran. – 500 Meter. Huch. Die schaffen wir jetzt auch noch. Mittwoch, 10:33 Uhr, 34. Oh, ganz schön viel los hier. Glaube ich, dass ich eigentlich nichts zum Einsammeln finde, oder ich gucke echt nicht gut genug. Wenn man hier schon mal so rumrennt. Oh je, Eichhörnchen. Vorbeischleichen. Da ist es doch, ich sehe es. So, jetzt habe ich das freigeschaltet, oder?
Agent York. I feel like someone's in there. Let's go and see.
Ja, die waren in der Band, in der Jazz.
What do y'all want?
Da habe ich
I'm
gesehen.
kind of busy here.
Emma Sanders.
Hi there. Are you Emma?
Yeah. Who are you?
Francis York Morgan. I'm an FBI special agent. Please call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Agent York? So, what does the FBI want with little old me? I already told the police everything I know about Lise.
Emma, I haven't come here to talk to you about Lise. Although I suppose it's sort of connected in a way. My darling is broken, and I need you to fix her.
You call your board your darling? I never heard that one before. All right, let me see it. I'll try and assess the damage. I replaced all your trucks, wheels, and gave you some brand new deck tape. Also, you were missing a tail guard, so I put one on for you. That way you should be able to do a few tricks here and there without any risk of damage.
Jetzt können wir vielleicht doch einen Kickflip machen. Oder einen Olli.
Well, what do you think?
It's beautiful, Emma.
The wheels were scraped down and the base plate screws were all about to fall out. Oh, and the axles were also warped. It was pretty much in critical condition. Now, what I want to know is, how did it get that way?
Well, my car was stolen on my way here from Houston. So, I switched over to my darling and rode her here instead.
You know, you're crazier than you look.
Emma, would you mind answering another crazy question for me? I want to use this board to soar, literally. Would you mind teaching me a trick that would allow me to do so?
You mean you want to do a wally? Ooh, well, I'd be happy to teach you how, but it's too cramped in here. Oh, I know where we should go. You want to learn too? You sure? Seems like you're interested. Whatever. I know you're just gonna come along anyway. So you should at least learn the basics.
Skateboardstunden. Ich muss mal googeln, wann diese Remaster, ich sage mal Remaster, wann das Remake von dem Tony Hawk-Dingens kommt. Altes Fabrikgelände. Alter, kann ich jetzt hier wirklich ein paar Tricks machen? Das wäre fantastisch. Moment. Tony Hawk. Remake. September erst. So.
Okay, Agent York.
Alter, kann ich jetzt hier wirklich Tricks machen, Mann? Wie so ein alter... Es gab früher so viele... abgeklatschte Tony Hawk Kopien. Oh, es gab sogar bei eins, da konnte man Solid Snake spielen irgendwie. Die waren aber meistens kacke. Ach, guck mal, ich spiele sie. Nee. Das ist ja mal geil. Wie kam der Typ darauf, in Deadly Premonition 2 fucking Skateboard einzubauen? Das ist so eine abgedrehte Idee, ne? Wally. Ist das nicht ein Olli? Können von den überall verteilten Graffitis aus gestartet werden. Ach, Skateboardrennen. Ach was. Punktzahl, Flaggen einsammeln. Extrapunkte, Münzen. Es ist so abgedreht. Behinderung von Fußgängern. Moment, was ist denn jetzt hier die Aufgabe? Schließen Sie die Skateboardrennen ab und wenn richten Sie den Wally. Okay, warte mal, dann muss ich das jetzt immer aktivieren. Das ist schon geil gemacht irgendwie. Moment. Ah, okay, so. Wow. Wie mache ich Tricks? Wieso hat das nicht funktioniert? Wow. Scheiße. Ah, fucking hell. Da passt er nicht durch, oder? Oh, Jesus. Boah, wieso springt der immer so unglaublich weit gleich? Ah. Was ich kann brennen, da kann ich besser drehen. Das war erbärmlich. Wie macht man Tricks? Da stand da irgendwas von Tricks machen. Ach so. Man lernt wahrscheinlich immer mehr Tricks.
That was perfect.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
learned that new
perfect.
trick thanks to your guidance. Now I'm sure that Zach and I will be able to reach our destination without any trouble at all. Thank you for assisting in the investigation.
Glad to be of service. If your board breaks again, or you feel like customizing it a bit more, just stop on by my workshop. I'm pretty much always there during... I'm also taking some time off school because of what happened with Lise. Skating and playing music are the only things that help me escape the pain of losing her.
Oh, ist doch gut. Da war
Zach,
immer
did you see
jemand,
the
der unser
expression on her
Board
face
repariert.
just now? She works hard to act cheerful, but she's yet another person who was hurt by the tragedy. Lisa's death is like wildfire, spreading embers of sadness throughout the entire town.
Fuck. Weihrauch. Und Skateboardrennen. Nebenjob. Holla die Waldfee, haben wir viele Nebenjobs. So, Moment, ich will das hier nochmal spielen. Also ich darf echt nicht überall drüber springen. Das mit dem Springen raff ich nicht. Okay. Oh, wieso hat er denn die scheiß Flagge nicht eingesammelt? So, nochmal. Okay, einfach nur einmal drücken. Oh. Wieso? Wieso hat er nicht gesprungen? Sag mal, das habe ich doch eben viel besser gemacht beim ersten Mal. Wieso sammelt er die nicht ein? Oh Gott. Ich hoffe, das Remake von Tony Hawk spielt sich besser. So, und jetzt hier ist ja tückisch, ne? Eigentlich darfst du da nicht springen. Weil sonst landest du viel zu weit. Einmal geht noch. Ich will da irgendwie... wenigstens einmal... Guck mal, das Skateboard geht jetzt... Ach so, wegen den Olli, also den Ollies. Geht es mal ein bisschen kaputt, oder was? Nee. Oder geht es jetzt kaputt, wenn ich irgendwie gegenfahre? Das war ja vorher... Ah, okay, vorher konnte es nicht kaputt gehen, weil vorher konnte ich es auch nicht reparieren. Hey, und er ist wieder viel zu weit gesprungen. Das ist doch kacke. Schaffe ich es einmal über die blöden Kisten? Boah, das geht aber auch schnell kaputt, wenn man hier irgendwo so ein bisschen gegendotzt. Da guck mal. Gleich wieder 1% runter. Boah, nee, das regt mich auf. Die Steuerung ist zum Kotzen. Der fährt viel zu großen Bogen, ey. Egal. So, hier ist das... Wo bin ich denn jetzt? Wo ist denn jetzt ihr Scheiß... Ach, fuck, ich hätte da oben auch das aktivieren müssen. Und dann gucken wir gleich nochmal, wie wir das pimpen können. Und aktivieren da das Schnellreisesystem. So. Oh. Gott. Man kann auch nur bei Rampen springen anscheinend.
I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest... It really seemed like you knew who Galena Clarkson was.
Well, I've never actually talked to her. But it's a small town. Pretty much all folks know who the Clarksons are. And Galena's supposed to be extra scary compared to the rest of them. Back when we saw her in town, I felt like she was glaring right at me. So I got real scared. No one will come out and say it, but I'm pretty sure they're all relieved that she was the killer. We're lucky the killer ended up being a member of the Clarkson family. Otherwise, the whole town would have turned into a battlefield.
You've got a point, but did everyone really hate her that much?
They didn't hate her. She hated them. She had this real peculiar way of treating people. I don't know how to describe it.
Contemptful?
Yeah, I guess that's it. She never opened up to anyone in town.
She was rich, beautiful, and wanted to become an actress. So she went to a metropolitan city to refine herself. There's always a chance that people like her may develop prejudices towards those who stay in the countryside. A big chance, even. But just because a person has prejudices doesn't mean they'll go out and murder people. That's where my doubt lies. Was there any sort of omen which made people happy that she was the killer instead of someone else?
I'm just telling you how I feel. How am I supposed to know if everyone else in town felt the same way? Never thought she'd actually go and kill her own daughter, though.
There it is, Zach. It appears that her attempt to kill me wasn't simply a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Hi, Agent York. Okay, you mind if I tell folks about how I got to customize a board for an FBI guy?
Of course not. You're my mentor, after all.
Really? I reckon it might help out whenever I decide to open up my own shop, you know? I bet it'll make me famous. Official choice of FBI special agents. I'm gonna name it Emma's Skateboard Workshop.
When that happens, I hope you'll expand and open up stores all throughout the U.S. Otherwise, I'll have to come down to Louisiana every time I need to fix up my darling.
You trying to butter me up with compliments?
Absolutely not, Emma. I'm serious. Your skills are top class. You figured out how I ride my board merely from the friction marks. The wheel and bearing selection in your shop makes perfect sense to me. Your finesse with applying the deck tape was also impeccable. It's rare to find an artisan who thinks this deeply about her customers. I now understand why you call this a workshop rather than a garage. Emma, you should be more confident. Zach and I both guarantee that you possess true talent in your craft.
Agent York, you really believe I'm that talented? Wow, I'm so moved I don't even know what to say. See you later. Oh, if you ever got any skateboard questions, I'll be happy.
Kann ich das nicht pimpen? Ich will das doch irgendwie pimpen.
Hi, Agent York.
Na gut, weiß ich nicht genau, warum ich die jetzt nicht customizen kann. Ich glaube, bei dem Thompson-Dings gab es auch einen Ballon, aber ich habe ihn nicht aktiviert, ey. Guck mal, Schnellreise geht ja relativ schnell eigentlich. Nein, da wollte ich gar nicht hin. Fuck, ist das nicht so weit weg? Welches ein muss ich? 26. Tatsächlich.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Hunga. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. By the way, Zach, Hungan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African-American who appeared in a variety of different films. My mind must be overlapping him with the skeletal gentleman. Do you remember his name? Ah, yes, that's it. Scatman Crothers. In 1980, he played Dick Halloran in The Shining. And in 1983, he was in The Twilight Zone. He played the man who invited all those elderly folks into a strange new world. I knew it, Zach. There's definitely a...
Scheiße.
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting at a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag, buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea of data. That would have been its fate. Instead, it traveled from person to person until it finally...
Verdammt, lass mich raten, ich kann nicht schwimmen. Verdammt. Gibt's da irgendwo eine Brücke? Okay, da. Ja, ich werde wohl demnächst aufhören, mir fallen schon wieder die Angst. Verdammt, wieso kann ich da nicht rum?
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting at a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder.
Oops.
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges.
Ach ja, das sind ja die Schienen. Ja, macht Sinn. Da, wo ich rüberspringe.
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast.
Verdammt. Ich will die Augen zufallen. So, jetzt aber. Whee! Bam! Oh Moment, ich glaube Victoria hat noch was geschrieben. Und hier sind gerade Wölfe, die mich jagen wollen. Es wird gefährlich. Moment, was hat sie denn geschrieben? Du guckst dir Filme an, damit sie sich küssen? Wenn es dir nur darum geht, dass sie sich küssen, warum spulst du doch nicht durch den Film und guckst dir die Szene an? Aber haben sich nicht geküsst, ja. Manchmal ist es so, ne? Es gibt nicht immer nur Happy Ends. Wie im echten Leben. Oh je. Ah. Da sind wir.
Hey, Agent York, are you sure you really want to talk to this guy?
Oh, ich mach gleich mal ein paar Liegestütze. Also. Ja, ein bisschen wach werden hier, ey. Ja, das Spiel ist schon einschläfernd irgendwie.
Chuck Thompson, you were the first person to find Lisa's body, correct? I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Agent York. Seems like he ain't in the mood for
Dein
talking.
Single-Leben kickt und jetzt gehst du schlafen?
Chuck Thompson, may I have a word with you? I'm looking for the one who fired the pistol at Heaven.
You trying to say I gotta aim up to shoot 'cause of my height?
Jack Thompson.
Not at all. I was merely quoting the skeletal gentleman's oracle.
Skeletal gentleman? You ain't making a lick of sense. What do you all want anyway? What do y'all come here to waste my precious time for?
I'm currently running a race around town thanks to you, who fired the starting shot. The murderer and I are competing to see who can cross the finish line first. Unfortunately, the murderer got a generous head start on me. If he gets away from me, I'll lose. But if I can catch up to him, then I'm sure I'll win. So please, Chuck, tell me, how did you find Lisa's body? Her body was hidden under a bridge on the bayou, very close to the Mississippi River. It's got to be at least a few miles away from your farm in this swamp, right?
Oh, the Clarksons are the folks who gave me the damn permission to farm crawdaddies here in the first place. Now, why the hell would I ever want to kill that little girl?
Then what were you doing out there?
You know, lately I've been seeing a queer boat around these parts. Ain't too big. Probably only holds 5 or 6, and it's got a deep draft. Assholes think
Die
they can drive
Nasenhaare,
right
als
through
wären
my
irgendwelche
turf, right
Viecher
through my dang
reingekrabbelt.
crawdad farm.
So you gave chase, which led you to Lisa's body.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking poachers.
Where did the poachers go?
Oh, hell if I know. Fog was thick that day, thicker than usual. So I lose sight of them. The next thing I know, I'm under that goddamn bridge. Then I felt a chill run up my spine. And I knew. So I drove up to the bank and got out. And there she was, strung up on that there altar.
Did you know Lise personally?
Yeah, I knew her a little. She never showed me no disrespect, unlike the rest of those damn Clarksons. They so rotten I can smell 'em from here, same as the shit at the bottom of this here swamp. Heavy, heavy. Yeah. There was a little better when their boy Lenny was still around.
Lenny?
Yeah, Leonard, PJ's son. He never showed me no disrespect neither. And he's the one who gave me permission to farm here. But, well, ever since he left home, his whole family's gone straight down the shitter. Lisa was the only decent one left. She was wise, just like Lenny. Ain't right, I tell you. Heavy, heavy, heavy.
Heavy, 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 heavy.
Now I'm done talking, goddammit. Now go on, get the hell out of here.
Philip mentioned something about his son leaving home. That must be Lenny. Did you know about that, Patty?
Everyone in town knows about it.
By the way, Zach, do you remember what we saw when we were skipping stones? That boat with the dragonfly crest. Zach, no matter where we go in this town, we're constantly assaulted by information related to the Clarkson family. Just where is that skeletal gentleman trying to lead us?
Das ist immer die Wii, sage ich schon, die Switch, dass die immer schon so ein bisschen dunkel macht.
We successfully found
Weil man
the
so lange
one
nichts
who
macht bei
fired the
den
pistol at heaven.
Cutscenes.
Now we need to visit the White Hall of Beds. You know, Zach, it almost feels like we're orienteering here. Doesn't it remind you of our training in Quantico?
Training in Chronic Coding, so habe ich gerade gelesen, Quentin Tarantino. Weil er redet hier andauernd über Filme. Ich habe das echt irgendwie... So, ich wollte noch ein paar Steine skippen hier. Schuing, bup, bup. Naja. Das war ja mal miserabel. Ach, guck mal, aber diese 3 Dinger habe ich schon. Das heißt, es ist wirklich nur das Spiel an sich und nicht der Ort, an dem ich gespielt habe. Nein. Ja, gegen Ende wird schwer. 10 hatte ich, ne? Ich glaube, über 10 bin ich noch nicht gekommen. Ist cool. Ja, cool ist besser als gut, ne? Ja, stimmt. Genau, cool ist 100 und gut ist 50. Ey, ich will echt mal 11 schaffen oder so. Müsste ich da nicht bald mal wieder was freispielen eigentlich? Yes, 12. Ey, das ist echt so ein bisschen, mittlerweile ist es so in dem Kopf drin, finde ich. Es ist schon echt schade, dass ich hier keine Trophäen kriegen kann, ne? Man hat irgendwie das Gefühl, als würde man es umsonst machen. Das ist irgendwie Quatsch, ist aber... Da hat Microsoft echt ein cooles Ding erfunden mit den Achievements und den Trophäen. Eigentlich schade, dass Nintendo das nicht auch hat. Weil ich meine, man muss es ja nicht benutzen, man kann es ja auch komplett ausblenden, dass es nicht mal eine Benachrichtigung gibt. Falls es einen stört, aber irgendwie bringt es doch so ein bisschen einen Mehrwert, finde ich. Kann man mit den Dicken das eigentlich auch irgendwie schaffen? Ja, geht sogar. Okay, jetzt wie ich letzte Mal. So simpel, aber irgendwie macht es echt so ein bisschen süchtig. Ah, da war ich dann gegen Ende werde ich immer zu geduldig und drück dann immer zu oft hintereinander. Komm, ich will noch einmal was freispielen. Außerdem ist die Musik irgendwie cool. Da. Große Verbandsset. Das ist unnütz. Okay. Soll uns erstmal reichen. Moment, hier den Ballon muss ich noch aktivieren. Was haben wir hier? Achso, eine Tonne. Hier könnte ich jetzt pennen. Was haben wir hier? Gatorenschwanzflosse. Ein bisschen Platz schaffen hier. Boah, ich habe so viele fucking Donuts. Wo hab ich die denn her? Ich habe doch eins irgendwie gekauft. Ah ne, ich habe 5 gekauft oder so. Boah, das ist ja echt unglaublich, ey. Ach komm, der eine Kaffee da reicht. Und Lutscher brauchen wir auch nicht 3. So. Was haben wir da? Hier können wir auch noch was einsammeln, ne? Ochsenfroschzunge. Hat Victoria noch was geschrieben? Kommen die doch nochmal wieder? Ja, tatsächlich. Es gibt so Seiten auf Insta mit 15.000 Follower und die laden einfach Bilder von Shit hoch. Like the fuck. Ja, es gibt auch einfach Instagram-Seiten, die zum Beispiel Sachen von TikTok hochladen. Und die haben auch ganz viele Follower. Was ich auch komisch finde, weil wenn ich dann das gucken will, dann gucke ich doch TikTok selber, oder? Und nicht Instagram. Okay, auf zur Kirche. Da. Ja, das ist vielleicht Quatsch, aber egal, ich fahre jetzt mit dem Auto hin. Tja, Victoria, hast du jetzt nicht erwartet, ne? Was ist das denn da? Eine blaue Person? Das ist wieder so eine... Ach, das ist der Danny.
You again?
Was ist denn mit deinem Arm passiert, Danny? Hat das etwa ein Krokodil abgebissen? Bringen Sie das wichtige Erinnerungsstück. Okay. Ja, Nebenmission müssen wir noch mal gucken. Erstmal nicht. Erstmal nicht.
Hey, Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that.
Ein Auto. Hier fahren Autos? Wow.
This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace.
Die evangelische Kirche von Le Carré. Hat Kirche gesagt?
Hey, Agent York. Just so you know, dealing with past...
A big pain in the butt?
That's what I said. But I guess you have no choice but to obey your oracle, huh?
Ha ha ha. Ja, komm, geht hoch.
I don't like hospitals.
Why not?
They soup folks up with medicine, cut 'em up, and then they try and act like they're your friends. Something ain't right about that, you know. It goes against the laws of nature. Plus, this is a church. So you got a pastor, a servant of God, actually playing God with his patients.
I think you have a point there, Patty. These days, we can neither determine death nor reproduce without the help of modern medicine. Yeah, our world's become quite an unnatural one. Oh, excuse me.
This is Lucare. You need to watch where you're going, or someone might end up tripping you.
Zach, it's her. The stylish woman who watched Lise die.
Ich glaube, das ist ein Mann.
I've been waiting for you, lost lamb.
Hi there, Pastor. Would you mind letting go of me? I'm in a bit of a hurry right now.
So pitiful. The Lord hungers.
Here we go again.
What?
Pitiful. Truly pitiful, my little lamb.
No, neither Zach nor I...
Oh, so pitiful. So pitiful, just pitiful. The Lord hungers. 1 can of Spam, 1 can of red beans, and 1 can of spinach. You are to offer up the taboo trinity.
Taboo? Don't you mean the holy...
Oh, how I pity you. Unlike us humans, the Lord never errs. Now, my pitiful agent, bring forth the taboo trinity at once. For it is the will of the Lord our God.
See? I told you this was gonna be a pain in the butt.
But Zach and I need to go after that stylish woman.
Too late now. We need to obey God's will.
The Lord hungers!
Come on, hurry it up. We need to go.
Well, Zach, I don't know what to say. First an oracle, and now an order from God? Maybe this is the trial that will yield the ticket to the goddess. Either way, it looks like we have no choice but to gather the taboo trinity. I guess it just goes to show that small towns are always filled with the bizarre and unpredictable.
Alles klar. Der Herr hungert. Der Herr hungert, der Herr hungert. Wir müssen ihm Essen besorgen. Oh, die Musik ist ganz nice. Wer spielt denn das Klavier hier? Oder die Orgel wahrscheinlich, ne? Und was ist hier hinter? Eine Waage. Didim, didim, dim, didim, dim. Kaufen Sie im La Crawfish eine Dose Spinat. Bestellen Sie im Alexis rote Bohne mit Reis. Kaufen Sie im Erzwiller Feder eine Dose Spinat. Das ist ja ganz schön viel. Warte mal. Also Le Crawfish. Wie spät ist es überhaupt? Also im Spiel. Wird es bald dunkel? Achso, ich habe ja die Markierungen. Perfekt. Also, was ist am nächsten dran? 400.
So, what do you think of it?
300.
Talking about him. Hunda.
Oh,
Is the
das ist
skeletal
30.
gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of ether? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me.
12:27.
Hungan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African-American who...
Schwupp. Also 30. Kaufen Sie eine Dose Spinat. Na, das machen wir doch. Und eine Ladezeit. Was ist das da eigentlich für eine gruselige Voodoo-Puppe in der Ecke, ey?
Do you carry any canned goods here?
Canned goods? The vermin?
Understood, Mir. Well then, if you'll excuse me.
Wait. Yes, I can see it.
How intriguing. Well then, where is the canned good I seek?
In a place where no man could ever peddle it.
I see. In a place where it can't be bought from a person.
'Twas but a trifle, for the Lord hungers, doth he not?
Zach, it's in a vending machine. It appears that God wants us to go on a wild goose chase all around town.
Okay, das ist natürlich nochmal ein Twist. What a twist. Wir müssen also doch was anderes machen als gedacht. Naja. Okay, ist hier irgendwie nicht auch schon Automat an der Ecke oder so? Nee. Haben wir hier ein Auto? Fucking hell, muss ich den Automaten selbst finden?
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world. And there's hardly any trash or graffiti to be found anywhere. The Clarksons truly do control this place, for better or worse. It's a good example of how allowing certain people to rise to power can have positive effects as well. Also, don't you...
Fuck man, ich hab doch irgendwie so Automaten im Kopf. Wo hab ich den gesehen? Geil, ist auch erstmal das hier. Rote Bohnen mit Reis.
Oh, coming right.
Das war nicht richtig, oder? Er freut sich. Was?
Alexis, could I have some red
Okay.
beans and rice?
Oh, my Lord. Sorry, we only serve red beans and rice on Mondays. That's a meal you eat when you're busy, like folks usually are on Monday. It's been a tradition here in Louis. Wait, honey, don't tell me.
Tradition, Zach. This is it. We need to obey tradition here and come back on Monday.
Was? Muss ich jetzt wirklich bis zum... Wir haben Mittwoch. Muss ich so lange schlafen dann? Muss ich dann bis Montag durchpennen? Das ist alles ein bisschen anders als gedacht. Ich habe gedacht, ich kann ihm jetzt einfach die Dinger kaufen und gut ist. Okay, das sind alles Nieten. Boah, wo habe ich denn diese scheiß Automaten gesehen? Ich habe irgendwo Automaten gesehen.
this town has a symbol.
Oh, wir haben die Ballons noch gar nicht aktiviert. Irgendwo war doch hier... War noch der Automaten, Mann.
Okay, hold on.
Was soll ich hier nochmal kaufen? Das gleich, oder?
Mr. York.
No, Melvin. I've simply gotten myself tangled up in a little mess.
Oh, Mr. York.
Yes, apparently the Lord is starving, and I'm a lamb with no sense of direction.
Ach, guck mal, 1 konnten wir erledigen. Wo gibt's hier Automaten, ey? Boah, ich kann schwören, es gab so ein Haus, da gab's... Da bin ich drauf zu und dann gab's Automaten.
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case... This is the deep south.
Oh, ich hab grad gedacht, ich hab hier was gesehen, ey.
Hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach? Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world. And there's hardly any trash or graffiti to be found anywhere. The Clarksons truly do control this place, for better or worse. It's a good example of how allowing certain people to rise to power can have positive effects as well. Also,
da muss ich auch noch bis Montag warten.
Remarkably friendly, even to total strangers.
Das kann doch nicht richtig
Both
sein.
here and in New Orleans, I've been amazed at how cordial everyone is. Is it just the way things are down here? You certainly don't see that sort of thing in New York.
Oh, kommt der da jetzt wirklich nicht hoch, Mann?
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder.
Verkaufsautomaten in der Stadt. Wo?
This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot...
Ich könnte sowas von schwören, ich habe immer irgendwie so ein Ding gesehen. Was ist denn das hier überhaupt? Ich gehe mal da hin, ey.
This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach? So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of myth?
Kann man ja mal aktivieren, ne?
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland, with small towns scattered about here and there. That's how America looks to me, compared to the scale of this entire country.
Boah, ich google gleich, Mann.
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world. And there's hardly any trash or graffiti to be found anywhere. The Clarksons truly do control this place, for better or worse. It's a good example of how allowing certain people to rise to power can have positive effects as well. Also, don't you find that Southern people are remarkably friendly, even to total strangers? Both here and in New Orleans, I've been amazed at how cordial everyone is. Is it just the way things are down here? You certainly don't see that sort of thing in...
Oh Gott, Mann, Vater.
Stop to chit-chat. Especially when ordering food.
Alter,
They only
ich
say
hab was
what's
gefunden.
necessary, without any decoration.
Holy shit. So. Dosen Erbsen oder so, ne?
Not a single can of spinach in sight, Zach.
Ah, Jesus.
Let's try somewhere else. Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. Oh.
Ja, sorry, ich google. Ich fahre doch jetzt nicht durch die ganze Stadt. Und wie so ein Idiot. Das erscheint mir dumm und unnütz. Und das werde ich nicht tun. Ich werde jetzt hier nicht stundenlang durch die Gegend fahren. Okay, was haben wir denn da? Da. Okay. Ja, es ist jetzt ein bisschen geschummelt, aber wie gesagt, ich war jetzt hier nicht. Ich vergeude meine Gaming-Zeit damit, die komplette Stadt auf den Kopf zu stellen.
This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach?
Ja, wenn es Trophäen geben würde, hätte man garantiert einen gekriegt.
Zach, this is how I wake myself up.
Dafür, dass man dann alle Luftballonstationen quasi da aktiviert, ne?
This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach? Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen?
Wegprämie. Da ist es.
Zach, we finally found our can of spinach. Look, Zach, even this vending machine is managed by Clarkson Food Delivery Services. But who in their right mind would sell canned goods in a vending machine in the middle of nowhere? I only hope that it's not expired.
Ach, der muss das jetzt essen. Pech gehabt. So, und jetzt muss ich bis Montag warten. Und ich werde jetzt mal gucken, ob ich irgendwo so eine Tonne finde, wo ich mich hinfläzen kann bei meinem Schlafsack. Und dann werde ich von Montag. Nicht von Mittwoch bis Montag, da pennt. Wie so ein scheiß Penner. Im gleichen Anzug. Mal gucken, ob das geht. Mal gucken, ob er dann schon Bartstoppel hat.
It's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland.
Wo ich nur wieder so ein...
towns scattered about here and there. That's how America looks to me. Compared to the scale of this
so eine Stelle finden, wo man das machen kann.
New York, Chicago, and LA are all microscopic. Sometimes they even feel like figments of my imagination. Think back to what Las Vegas looked like when we were driving up I-15. It was a mirage. TV and movies dress up those mirages and broadcast them to people all around the world. Meanwhile, American women become fascinated by the gorgeous city lights and are drawn toward those illusions. The very same women who were chosen as prom queens in their small towns. In the end, all they find are ghosts. Once their eyes adjust to that blinding light, they realize there's nothing but vanity and lust surrounding them. They finally figure out that it was all in their heads. Then they quickly try to satisfy themselves with something else. Drugs. And drugs are the gateway to a whole pantheon of crime. Zach, remember what you told me once? The women who turn to crime aren't the evil ones. The drugs aren't evil either. They're nothing but chemicals. The ones who feed off those women and use them. They're the ones to hate. Let's go, Zach. We need to find the person who's hiding behind Galena. Drag them out into the blazing southern sun.
Wieso ist es immer so schwer, wenn man es sucht? Hat das irgendein Symbol auf der Karte oder so? Vorhin bin ich hier ein bisschen rumgelaufen und da habe ich dann immer so eine Stühle gefunden mit einer Tonne.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Hunda is the
Da
skeleton
sehe ich die
gentleman
nicht, wenn ich hier auf
friend or
dem
foe, or does he merely exist outside the
Skateboard
realms
bin.
of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. By the way, Zach, Hungan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African-American who appeared in a...
Da, ich sehe es. Das ist doch so ein Symbol.
streets in New Orleans were a mess, all busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built in a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in.
Fucking Killer-Eichhörnchen,
Also, a lot
ey.
of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this...
Tada. Ey, jetzt gucken wir mal, wie lange wir hier pennen können. Okay. Boah, muss ich das jetzt echt machen, bis Montag ist? Wie oft kann ich den Schlafsack
Zach,
benutzen?
how about we grab a bite to eat? Not even I can think straight on an empty stomach. Zach, I can't go on.
Was? Was muss ich gerade bezahlen? Moment, muss ich trotzdem das Hotel bezahlen? Wollte ich da ja... Hoch. Freitag. Nein! Ah, Jesus. Wir sind ein fucking Murmeltier. Geruch. Ungepflegt und übelriechend. Wenn sie sich für längere Zeit Bewohner sind unter Umständen lästig und einige Tierarten spüren sie auf Hunde noch leicht auf. Okay, na gut, aber das kann mir egal sein, oder? So. Das war Samstag.
Zach, I can't go.
Er hat schon wieder Hunger. Ja, einmal schlafen wir noch und dann gehen wir ins Hotel und pennen da. Und da können wir dann duschen und frühstücken. Aber ist der jetzt der Schlafsack? Ist jetzt kaputt oder so? Na gut, komm. Auf ins Hotel.
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess, all busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk.
Ich dachte... Ja, okay. Das hat mich jetzt $100 gekostet. Da fliegt ein Typ in der Luft. Sesam, öffne dich, Casa de la Cassette. Irgendwas. El Caso. Wie heißt die Stadt? Carré, ne? Irgendwie sowas. Oh, wir müssen noch bis Montag pennen. Duschen. Wie jetzt kommt... Ah geil, jetzt haben wir hier keine Dusche benutzen können. Geh noch was essen und dann reden wir mit dem Concierge. Und jetzt müssten wir... Wieso steht das jetzt hier gar nicht? Doch, Sonntag. Sonntag. Also ein Tag noch.
That's what you can't get. So make sure.
Ja, der Bart. Ist ganz geil.
Thanks, mister. Next time you get a hankering for old-time Creole.
So, Mr. Concierge, unsere Dusche ist kaputt.
We always strive our humble beauty. Therefore,
great.
Exact.
Moment, muss ich hier wirklich mich mit Parfüm und so über Wasser halten, weil die Dusche kaputt ist?
serving you. Please do let...
Moment. Da. Untersuchen Sie alle Wasserventile im Casa Pineapple, um die Dusche zu berühren. Wie mache ich das denn? Alle Wasserventile untersuchen? Im ganzen Hotel, oder? Ach, ist das der Concierge?
Hey, bellboy, what's this balloon doing?
Oh!
The transportation sack. We have...
Well, of course you won't.
What the...
That
Why?
Ja.
right on the money.
Why are...
Me?
So... I...
Okay. Was habe ich gemacht? Was ist los? Was haben wir jetzt aktiviert? Ich will doch nur duschen gehen. Er hat gesagt, ich soll dem Concierge Bescheid sagen. Und jetzt steht da, ich muss alle Wasserventile untersuchen. Wie macht man denn das? Was passiert gerade?
How's the investigation coming? Must be going well if you're on the case. Thanks for calling me. Why, Vern? Then goodbye now.
Und das war ja unnütz jetzt. Und dafür die lange Ladezeit. Ich gebe doch jetzt nicht Unmengen an Geld aus, um mich hier mit Parfüm einzudecken. Aber wo kann man denn Wasserventile untersuchen? Gibt es hier irgendwelche Ventile? Toilette? Hä? So, machen wir ein bisschen früher, wenn wir auch noch Zeit haben. Also ich würde mich ja eigentlich erst duschen und dann umziehen, aber wenn ich jetzt nicht duschen kann, ziehe ich mich dann gleich um. Okay. Ach so, der muss tatsächlich... Der scheiß Concierge muss da unten stehen. Das macht er nur zu bestimmten Zeiten. Natürlich macht er das nur zu bestimmten Zeiten.
You can't, so make...
Naja, dann stinken wir halt, Mann. Ist halt so. Was willst du machen, ne? Wenn die Dusche kaputt ist.
Thanks, miss. Next time.
Kann man machen, nix. Unser Geld schwindet. Vielleicht haben wir auch Glück. Nope. Egal. Wir sind der stinkende York. So. Jetzt ist Montag, jetzt können wir da dieses kaufen, was er kaufen wollte.
This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach?
Achtung, Achtung, Stinkemann ist da. Stinkt euch die Butze voll, aber er löst den Fall. Bzz, 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 Fliegenmann. Nämlich Ant-Man, nee, Flyman.
The air out
Nennt
there
mich
don't
Jeff
feel
Goldblum.
right today. You feel it too, honey?
Ja, ich stinke. Tut mir leid.
Oh, coming right.
Rote Bohnen wollte er haben, ne?
Alexis, would you mind? I'll pay the regular.
Oh, my Lord. Why don't you want me to take a...
There for an offering.
Oh.
Exactly. As you can see, I'm a pitiful lost lamb.
Aber die Fliegen sind aber auch dick, ne? Die sie da
Now I
animiert
get it,
haben.
Zach. This is nothing but a shameless fetch quest.
So. Endlich. Ich muss bezahlen für Geruchsbelästigung. Bald kein Geld mehr. So ein Scheiß. Ich versuche doch nochmal die Mission zu machen. In dem Guide, was ich gerade gesehen habe, da war der Concierge um 15 Uhr irgendwie da. Pennen wir einfach nochmal bis 15 Uhr. Jetzt haben wir auch nichts mehr zu verlieren. Ich will nicht die ganze Zeit jetzt Geld zahlen, weil wir stinken. Ich muss jetzt schon so viel Geld zahlen, weil wir gepennt haben. Oh, aber kein Geld. Ich hatte 1000 irgendwas, jetzt habe ich wieder gar kein Geld. Kein Geld, kein Geld, kein Geld.
Zach, we finally managed to assemble the Taboo Trinity, and it was certainly no small task. I just hope it rewards us with some data that will help us push this
Mhm, das habe ich aber auch.
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance.
Boah, dem hätten sie echt noch ein paar mehr Sätze geben können, ne? Wenn er auf dem Skateboard steht. Rolled. Holy roller. I got shut down in Southern California. Ba, 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 ba. So, Concierge ist leider nicht da. Legen wir uns nochmal hin bis 15 Uhr und hoffen, dass das stimmt. Der Typ im Guide hat halt auch keine Ahnung. Er meinte nur, dann war der da bei ihm. 15:50 Uhr. Was ist das für eine Zeit, ey? So. Bellboy can't call him either hier. 20:53 Uhr. Alter, das ist ja abgefahren. Also 15:50 Uhr. Moment. So, hoffen wir mal, dass der da gleich steht. Da steht er.
I sincerely hope you're having a comfortable stay, Mr. Morgan.
Nein, die ist nämlich kaputt. Umgehend einen Handwerker kommen lassen. Wie lange wird es etwa dauern, bis die nächste Woche wird es erledigt sein? Das dauert zu lange. Ganz recht. Unser Haus wurde mehr vor 200 Jahren, bla bla bla. Ich soll wissen, müssen wir auf meine Dusche warten. Ich kann nicht mehr wechseln. Ich weiß, ist was aus der Trageregel. Anderes Hotel. Wo willst du denn? Kann hier keiner duschen? Zweiten Stock direkt beim Restauranteingang. Ein Ventil. Ja, okay. Aber guck mal, wenn man hier zahlen muss. Guck mal, er hält sich echt die Nase zu. Geruchsbelästigung. Alter, ich bin pleite, bevor das hier zu Ende ist. Ich bin doch mal dieses scheiß Parfüm gekauft. Was soll ich gerade sagen? Ja, wem zahle ich das in der Stadt? Was ist denn, wenn ich mich jetzt umziehe? Stinke ich dann auch noch? Ja. Aber hätte ich doch mal Parfüm gekauft, ey.
I sincerely hope you're having a comfortable...
Hotelboy. So, das ist einmal... Alter, ich bin gleich pleite. Okay, warte mal. 20 Uhr irgendwas stand, war er bei ihm. Wo ist der hier? Der steht da bei der Uhr. Wo ist denn diese Uhr? Okay, 20 Uhr. Wenn ich jetzt nochmal das Bett zahlen muss und dann nochmal Geruchsbelästigung zahlen muss, dann bin ich pleite. Ich habe kein Geld. Jawohl. Ja, moin. Jetzt muss ich ihm auch nochmal was zahlen wegen Geruchsbelästigung. Ach, vor allem ist es alles der gleiche Typ, ne? Ersten Stock. Das wird auch mal teurer. Hier, ich weiß, ich kann das auch gleich gar nicht mehr zahlen, ey. So. Jetzt mit dem Koch reden. Ich hoffe, der steht da. Weil da hat er jetzt im Video nicht gesagt, wann er da aufgetaucht ist bei ihm. Ach, fuck, ey.
And that's what I'm talking. You can't. So make Thanks, mister. Next time you get...
Wann kommt da der Koch? Wahrscheinlich morgens, oder? Gucken, was passiert, wenn ich kein Geld mehr habe. Habe ich an Schulden? Sehr gut.
Gonna be a...
Wäre es kann sein, dass mit dem Wasserventil beim Klo im Erdgeschoss. Klo im Erdgeschoss. So, jetzt bin ich pleite und habe wahrscheinlich Schulden. Oh oh, Schulden. Wo zahle ich die Schulden ab? Okay, Klo im Erdgeschoss. Wo ist hier ein Klo? Endlich.
Whether it's a restaurant or a hotel, the key to charming your customers is how you present your bathroom. I'm sure you feel the same way, don't you? Now this, it might even trump the one we saw in that drug dealer's house. Remember? The art...
Ja, da waren schon auch richtig gut die Klos. So, oh Gott, ey, dann duschen und dann endlich... Alter, wie viel Geld ich jetzt verloren habe, weil ich so stinke. So, geht es jetzt endlich? Guck mal. Eine Glasperle. Ach was. Ich will ein bisschen Geld. So, jetzt stinken wir nicht mehr. Wir sind aber immer noch hungrig. Kann ich mir jetzt Essen holen und mach dann halt einfach mehr Schulden? Ist Geld hier komplett irrelevant eigentlich? Mache ich halt dann einfach immer mehr Schulden oder wie ist das? Wie so ein richtiger Amerikaner. Oder kann ich mir jetzt kein Essen mehr kaufen? Kann ich tatsächlich nicht. Oh, oh. Ich werde verhungern. So, ein bisschen, ich hoffe, dass ich ein bisschen Geld verdiene jetzt. Wir müssen die Missionen machen. Wir kriegen Geld durch Missionen, oder? Jetzt kann ich auch nicht mit dem Taxi fahren. Ich hatte so viel Geld und jetzt habe ich gar nichts mehr. Das ist ja ärgerlich. Oh, ein Punch. I wanna know, have you ever seen rain?
Hey, Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that.
Ah, ich kann ja auch Dinge verkaufen. Ne? Jetzt müsste ich das notfalls tun. Zum Glück habe ich die Mission, wo ich das Essen für ihn kaufen muss, vorher gemacht. Sonst hätte ich ja... muss ich jetzt erst Geld auftreiben.
Hey, wanna talk about bridges? Why? I've become... Looks like a case of bad... Let's come back later.
Wann denn? Montag. Bis 7. Hä? Dienstag habe ich. Wait a minute. Montag, Donnerstag, Freitag und Samstag. Dienstag, ich habe Dienstag und ich kann Dienstag und Mittwoch jetzt nicht hin oder was? Wollen die mich verarschen? Ey, das ist so unglaublich, ne? Das ist so unglaublich. Jetzt muss ich habe nichts zu essen. Ach, verdammt, wenn ich einen Tag schlafe, bin ich schon wieder verhungern. Ah. Gottes Willen, jetzt muss ich bis Donnerstag schlafen wieder. Nochmal 2 Tage. Mein Schlaftag ist schon wieder auch weg, ne? Boah, ey, was ist das für eine Kette an Missionen gerade eigentlich? Wo ich permanent schlafen muss. Was aber eigentlich auch blöder Scheiß Zufall ist, wenn man mal ehrlich ist. Hätte ich zufälligerweise, wäre Montag gewesen, hätte ich das einfach kaufen können und wäre ich bei Montag geblieben, hätte ich auch gleich...
Zach, I can't go on. We need to eat something. At this rate, I'll be...
Kann ich nicht einfach nur mal schlafen jetzt und dann esse ich? So, komm, halt Hunger, vielleicht auch ein bisschen Leben weg. Dann esse ich meine Vorräte. Ey, dann kann ich wieder anfangen, Geld. Hoffentlich muss ich dann nicht bei der nächsten Mission wieder nochmal 2 Tage irgendwie rumkriegen. So. Alter, ich habe minus 300 irgendwas.
Hey Zach, no nothing.
Das heißt, bevor ich mir wieder was kaufen kann, muss ich viel Geld machen. Und ich stink schon wieder. Oh, das gibt es doch nicht. Ich will nicht noch mehr Schulden machen. Jetzt müssen wir erstmal... Ey, es war eben alles so easy peasy, ne? Ich bin immer mit dem Taxi hin und her gefahren. Ich hatte über $1000. Ich konnte mir kaufen, was ich wollte. Ich hatte so viel Essen. Und jetzt bin ich pleite, habe kein Essen, sehe aus wie ein Penner. Stinke. Kann die Mission nicht beenden, weil ich am falschen Tag bin. Mache immer mehr Schulden, weil ich dann schlafe, weil ich den richtigen Tag haben muss. Ich hoffe, die Dusche geht jetzt auch. Muss ich irgendwas verkaufen?
Hey Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that. Hey Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that.
Muss ich einmal meinen kompletten Koffer verkaufen vielleicht, ey. Alter, ich wollte nur diese Mission machen und ihm sein Essen kaufen und ihm das geben. Und wegen dieser Mission musste ich jetzt einmal von Mittwoch auf Montag schlafen und dann nochmal jetzt von Dienstag auf Donnerstag schlafen. Und weil ich gestunken habe, habe ich all mein Geld verloren. Alter. Was für eine Horrormission. Ich kann mir übrigens auch kein Essen mehr kaufen jetzt. Wenn ich jetzt nicht bald irgendwie Kohle kriege, kann ich kein Essen kaufen. Oh, nein, nicht schlafen. Oh Gott. So, duschen. Sechs, ich habe Geld gekriegt. Oh, wie gut ist das denn? Okay.
So, what do you think of it? Yes.
So, jetzt haben wir den richtigen Tag. Jetzt haben wir einen geduschten York. Jetzt können wir das machen. Aber das einzige Gute ist ja, dass wir jetzt einen geilen Bart haben. Wenigstens etwas Positives.
Hundan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet...
Ich darf nur das Skateboard nicht schrotten jetzt, bevor ich hier weiterkomme.
If this town has a symbol, it's got to be that bridge hanging over the bayou. Lift bridges are truly a rarity. Reminds me of Duluth, Minnesota. Remember what happened there? That man went to such great lengths to collect his victims' tongues. You know, the one who would French kiss them every day as they slowly decompose. As I drove him to the station after his arrest.
Endlich. Boah, das war die härteste Mission, die wir jetzt machen mussten. Was? Warum? Warum?
Looks like a case of...
Warum? Wann? Wann soll ich jetzt wiederkommen? Ach, da steht er. Oh, hätte ich jetzt gar nicht nochmal schlafen müssen wahrscheinlich, ne?
Have you come seeking? May the law...
Was? Warum denn? Wann denn? Das verstehe ich nicht. Donnerstag, 7 am bis 7 pm. Wir haben Donnerstag, es ist 7:52. Wenn damit überhaupt die Küche gemeint ist. Ja, aber wann denn sonst? Doch, damit muss doch die Küche gemeint sein. Montag, Donnerstag. Wir haben Donnerstag, 7 am. Das verstehe ich nicht. Alter, ich hab Kohle ein bisschen. Aber die Schulden ist bezahlen, ja. Wann soll ich
Looks like a case of bad timing. Let's come back.
Ey, ich raff's nicht. Ich muss das wieder googeln. Ich hab keine Ahnung. Warum kann ich jetzt nicht hin? Ich check es nicht, check es nicht, check es nicht. Wann kann ich da rein? Wann darf ich in die Küche rein? Warum kann ich da jetzt nicht einfach rein? Warum? Warum? So, warte mal. Meine Mission ist, bringen Sie die versammelte 32. 32. 32. Wo ist es? Alter, was? Danach die Mission muss ich wieder ganz viel Scheiße sammeln. Boah. Enter through the side doors. Ja. Sind noch andere? Nee, ich muss auch da durch. Aber wann denn? Alter, danach muss ich wieder so viel Scheiße sammeln. Das sind ja mal richtige Scheißmissionen gerade. Aha, ab 8 also. Boah, und danach, was muss ich da noch sammeln?
Okay, Pastor. I've brought you your taboo trinity. I'd like to exchange it for a ticket to the goddess.
Oh, how I pity you. You see, my dear lost lamb, our Lord still hungers. One anaconda skin, one squirrel tail, and one pressed white guara.
Are you kidding me?
How pitiful. Our Lord never speaks in jest.
I told you this was gonna be a pain in the butt. Come on, we need to get going.
Boah, und die eine müssen wir bei dieser White Guara müssen wir schön mit dem
It looks like
Bellboy reden und
just
mit dem
wants to
Koch
say to hell
reden
with
und
it. Go have a smoke.
Alter, was der Typ mit uns macht, ne? Was der Typ einfach mit uns macht, ey. Unglaublich. Richtig asozial. Anaconda skin on ground in park to east of the church. Okay.
You know, Patty, I just remembered something. When we met Philip in the sheriff's office, he mentioned your mother. What sort of history does Melvin have with the Clarksons?
What do you mean? The Clarksons know everyone in town, and everyone in town knows the Clarksons. This is Lucare. That's all there is to it.
Zach, something isn't right here. I just hope the Clarksons don't have anything to do with her mother's illness. That's all I'm concerned about. Either way, the truth will reveal itself to us eventually.
Sie ist eine fucking Clarkson.
Just like
Sie
it
ist
always
eine fucking
has.
Clarkson. Sie ist eine Clarkson. So, East. Wo ist denn East? Da ist East. Hat sich unser Skateboard repariert? War das nicht bei 80?
Hey, wanna talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with...
So. So, jetzt haben wir hier ganz viele schöne X auf dem Boden. Moment, was muss ich sammeln? Ah, nein. 6 Anaconda heute. Okay, ich hoffe, die gibt es hier irgendwo. Da liegt doch schon mal etwas. Das ist ein altes Seil. Gewöhnliche Glasperle. Anaconda Haut.
Freshly shed from the looks of it. Now, let's get a move on before we run into its former owner. What do you think God wants with something like this anyway?
Hier laufen Anacondas rum eigentlich, Mann. Fällt mir jetzt mal auf erst. In dieser kleinen... Obwohl, nee, das ist ja so Sumpfgebiet, ja stimmt. Da sind ja auch Alligatoren im Wasser und so.
Hey, Zach. Remember this movie? 1997, directed by Luis Loza.
Klar, mit
Anaconda.
dem
The movie where the famous John Voight goes
John Voight,
crazy with a
genau.
rifle. Jennifer Lopez, Eric Stoltz, even Owen Wilson and Ice Cube were in it. Is that an all-star cast, or the scene in the beginning where Danny Trejo climbs up a ladder with a pistol in one hand is a must-see. It stole my heart within the first 5 minutes. Okay,
Der Film
back
ist
to the
wirklich
real
cool.
world.
Da gibt es eine Szene,
We're on
da,
an important
da wird der John Voight, der wird von der Anaconda gefressen und wird dann wieder ausgespuckt irgendwie. Aber ist halt, glaube ich, tot. Auf jeden Fall trotzdem, während er landet, zwinkert er dann noch so den, ich glaube, Jennifer Lopez zu. Das ist eine geile Szene. Also haben wir jetzt genug? Ups. 5, nee, eine noch. So.
About 3 years ago, I met a man who had a pair of anaconda skin shoes. He said they were a trophy from a snake he hunted and skinned all by himself. Could you kill something and then wear its skin? I couldn't. I failed to see any difference between that and a crazed murderer who carries pieces of his victims home with him.
Naja, es ist schon ein bisschen anders. So. Ach ja, jetzt müssen wir noch Eichhörnchen killen. Erstmal müssen wir hier wieder rausfinden. Oh, das ist doch schon rot auf der Karte.
It's got to be that bridge hanging over
Das Eichhörnchen?
Lift bridges are truly
Ja. So. Ups. Ey, dass das Auto wirklich, das finde ich ja geil. Dass das Auto wirklich, darauf reagiert. Komm schon. Was ist das denn da? Das ist ein blaues Super-Eichhörnchen? Seltene Beute. Schwanz.
There's our squirrel tail. I hope we can gather the rest of the materials this quickly. Honestly, we don't have the time to help God out with his heavenly errands.
Ach du Scheiße, ich muss immer die blauen killen. Nee, doch nicht. Ist Zufall, okay. God damn it. Fell, Schwanz.
Certain countries consider squirrel tails to be wards against
Ich hab doch
demonic
relativ viel
powers.
Fell schon. Kann ich das nicht auch verkaufen?
Apparently,
oder so?
the tails quiver whenever evil draws near. So when people go out on journeys, they always carry squirrel tails with them. The fresher the tail, the higher its price.
So, jetzt sind hier wieder keine Eichhörnchen. Wieso? Irgendwas ist hier gerade falsch. Ich kann ihn nicht mehr ganz steuern. Ist das jetzt verbuggt hier? Ich kann nicht mehr mit dem Skateboard fahren, ich kann nicht mehr zielen, ich kann nicht mehr schießen, ich kann nicht mehr bücken. Warum? speichern wir mal. Und laden mal und hoffen, dass es dann wieder geht. Ich will auch nicht rennen. Oh, es ist doch kacke. Was ist denn jetzt da los, Mann? Wir machen eine Schnellreise ins Hotel und hoffen, dass es dann geht. Wenn er einmal lädt, vielleicht geht es dann wieder.
You didn't even twitch when you saw Galena's body.
Why would I? Dead things can't hurt us, right?
Girls your age don't usually think that way.
Do you have kids, Agent York?
No, I don't. I'm not married either.
Then you have no idea how girls my age usually...
Wie hört sie auf zu reden, nur weil ich was einsammle? Drei Schwänze noch. Ich hoffe, da gibt es in der Nähe auch Eichhörnchen. Und ich hoffe, dass die Steuerung dann wieder funktioniert. Okay, bitte, 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 bitte. Nein, sie funktioniert nicht. Wieso habe ich keine Steuerung mehr? Okay. Okay, einmal laden wir neu und wenn die Steuerung immer noch nicht geht. Dann muss ich googeln, ey. Die Mission wollte ich echt gerne noch beenden jetzt eigentlich. Bitte funktioniere wieder. Ich möchte doch das Spiel spielen. Okay. Ah, zum Glück. Okay. So, ich brauche noch ein paar Eichhörnchen.
If this town has a symbol, it's got to be that bridge hanging over the bayou. Lift bridges are truly a rarity. Reminds me of Duluth, Minnesota. Remember what happened there? That man went to such great lengths to collect his victims' tongues. You know, the one who would French kiss them every day as they slowly decomposed. As I drove him to the station after his arrest, he started lecturing me on the proper way to give someone a kiss. Anyway, back to Duluth. They have a famous lift bridge there called the Aerial Lift Bridge. The lift bridge here is the first one we've seen since then, but this one looks a lot smaller than the aerial lift bridge. Its smaller size was most likely chosen due to the width of the river and the sea level of this area. The height and structure of a bridge is what determines which sort of boats can travel down the river. Normal bridges' base heights are set at a higher point so that boats can freely pass underneath them. But I imagine it would be difficult to create a bridge with a large...
Zwei noch. Noch zwei. Oh, das ist das blaue. Oh. Eins noch. Bitte, habt einen Schwanz dabei. Ah, komm, einer noch. Was hat er? Der hat mich bestohlen? So. Fell und einen Schwanz bitte. Oh, come on! Jetzt fehlt echt noch ein Schwanz. Komm schon, ich brauche Eichhörnchen. Alter, was ist das für eine Mission, Mann? Diese scheiß Sammelmission, die hat mich so viel gekostet. So viel gekostet und vor allem auch Zeit gekostet und auch... Oh, jetzt ist scheiß Eichhörnchen, Mann.
Hey Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand. And Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag, buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea of data. That would have been its fate. Instead, it traveled from person to person until it finally fell right into our lap. Things always work out that way for us. We've traveled all over the United States trying to track down Sang Rouge. We can't let this chance pass us by, can we, Zach? We need to find some sort of clue before this southern sun melts it all away.
Ein fucking Schwanz von einem Eichhörnchen noch.
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels?
Alter Mann. Endlich, ey.
Ripping a squirrel's tail off its corpse is an eye-opening experience, Zach. I don't care if God commanded us to do this. It's pure, but we'll just have to live with it. After all, humans...
Ja, wir sind auch nur Tiere, ja. Und Gott hat uns befohlen. Das ist natürlich richtig. Ich frage mich, wie episch der Bart noch wird.
Zach, I never knew that following oracles was such back... I really needed this cigarette. Now we just need to find... He was very clear that it had to be pressed. Do they sell pressed flowers in stores here? I think I'm stumped, Zach. Perhaps we better go ask our well-informed concierge.
Concierge.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, we're talking about him. Undan. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of evil? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. By the way, Zach, Undan feels very familiar to me. You might even...
So, hier ist wieder bis 15 Uhr warten, damit er auftaucht, oder was? Aber jetzt ist ja keine, jetzt ist ja noch ein bisschen. Ich hatte jetzt sogar eine rote Markierung. Ich hoffe, das geht. Ich hoffe, der ist da.
Okay, Zach. Let's go talk to our concierge. It'd be impossible for us to find a white Gora all on our own in such...
Das war doch schon.
Welcome back, Mr.
Hello there, concierge.
How may I help you, Mr.
I'm in need of a pressed white Gora. Do you know of a store where I could find one?
The Lord hungers?
Correct.
Das ist alle
Jolly
wissen.
good, sir. In that case, please ask our bellboy. His hobby is pressing flowers, so I'm
Wenn es dringend ist, den Koch fragen. Der Bart gefällt mir echt. Wenigstens sind die jetzt nicht da alle und ich muss nicht irgendwie welche Uhrzeiten wieder
Got a minute, Chef?
machen.
What is it, mister?
Do you know where I might find a pressed white...
Now, what did I tell you? I don't flap my gun. If you want to know...
Moment, was? Jetzt wieder der Concierge?
May I ask you a question?
Sure, boss.
I need to find a pressed white Gora.
You like flowers?
Well, not exactly.
The Lord hungers, huh?
Excellent, David. Do you know where I might find one?
Sorry, boss. We only have one white Gora bush in our garden.
What's the problem?
Well, yesterday I picked them all and pressed them, see?
That's perfect. Would you mind giving...
Sorry, boss. No can...
What do you mean?
I used all the pressed flowers I made to decorate a very special spot.
What spot?
The bedroom, on the first floor.
The bathroom.
Yes, sir. So, I don't have a single pressed flower.
Well then, I'll just go and grab...
I wouldn't do that if I were taking a pressed flower from a bathroom into church? Sorry, but it looks like you're all out of luck.
Ja, das interessiert mich doch nicht. Das wissen die ja auch nicht. Das ist ja mal ein krasses Klo.
Zach. Deep South.
Was zum Geier? So viel Platz. Achso. Würdet ihr hier scheißen gehen?
The white Gora, also known as the whirling butterfly. Never thought I'd ever have to pick a flower from a bathroom and deliver it to a church. But he left us no choice. Did he, Zach? God himself commanded us to carry out this very act. Therefore, I'm simply doing as I'm told. We never get to engage in adventures like these while living in the city, do we, Zach? No, the cases of the city are honestly quite boring. or chase a stray bullet that got lodged into a moving taxi. Talk about stupid. And usually, it's all just a formality so that we can accuse a criminal who's been obviously guilty since day one. If I have to search for something, I'd much rather search for something out here. It's just so much more dramatic. This is the countryside, and it's sensational. You know what I mean, don't you, Zach?
Ta-da-da-da. So, ich glaube, jetzt kriege ich mein Zimmer. Und dann speichere ich und dann höre ich auf. Das war ja mal Fetch Quest. Galore heute. Okay. Cool, dann ja. Boah, was eine Mission. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Unser bärtiger Bulle. Und danke fürs Zusehen.